Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Ian Matthew. I'm from Torrington, Connecticut, and this is the song Bad Habits.
So bad, but we're so good at it. We got bad habits.
The inspiration behind the song was I kind of wanted to tell a story about just a toxic, maybe not toxic relationship, but just those relationships that were, you get so comfortable in them, you almost don't know how to leave them. So you have like the first verse was kind of like diving into the actual the scene of these two people. I didn't want to just be like, yo, there's a girl and there's a guy and they're toxic. You know, I wanted to kind of like have you see almost the everyday life. So the first one is like, my cheek pressed against you this morning. I missed you. I hope you didn't get in too late. I must have nodded. I didn't hear you unlock it, and we're getting way too good at this game. So it's like, I know I'm so comfortable with you being out doing your bullshit that I'm falling asleep now. It doesn't keep me up at night no more. I can go to sleep to the point where I don't even know you came in. So I'm cool with it. And I know you out doing some bullshit, but in the morning we still do our routine of like, I'll say good morning, oh, I missed you, how was your night, blah, blah, blah. We know we're lying, you know what I'm saying? And I'm accepting the lies. And then it's like, it's talking about, I think that you might know, but you go, then I go, and we end up right back here in this place. Like, I know you're doing it, and I know I'm doing it. So I don't want to bring it up, and you don't want to bring it up because we don't even want to have the conversation. So we just both act like we don't know, and then we end up right here doing the same shit. Here we are. So it's like basically talking about being so comfortable in a relationship, and you know that it's not good for you, but you almost don't know how to live without that person. So you just accept it for what it is. It's like I said, I can't break the cycle. I do shit to spite you because I know that you're out doing the same. So even when like, you feel like maybe we should talk about it, then she do something, so you get mad. And like, I'm gonna retaliate, so I go and do something. And she do something, and she know on the low, but y'all never have that conversation. It just boils up and boils up. But you don't know how to live any other way. So it's kind of just being about in that shit. It's a bad situation. They got bad habits, and we always do the same thing. And we're way too stuck in all our ways, and we can't get out of it. And it's kind of like it's like a cycle of that vicious. That vicious cycle of love, but not knowing how to get out of it sometimes.
I think that we're too stuck in all our ways.
This one came together really fast. We weren't planning on it for a while. I have songs that we have done and we planned them out for months. This one was like we were in the studio, we found a beat, and I had kind of already started the song in my head of like how I wanted to script this song or like an idea and turn it into a song. So once I heard this, I was like, ooh, this could work. And then I used, the Bad Habits was something I pulled, I think, from the beat. I think it might have been called Bad Habits. And I was like, ooh, this actually works. So I just kind of started piecing it together and then adding and subtracting things. So we didn't really sit on it for long. I think we maybe did it one night and then came back to it one night. And then within like 3 weeks, it was out. So maybe like a month we had it and it was ready to come out. But it was a really fast song in the studio that came together like very quickly. The whole thing right now with going independent is turning the musicians back into musicians that own their own products. I think when you sign to a label and they own your music, you are the product now. So everything you do is a reflection on the label. So, if you go and you fuck up and you make a human mistake or something, the label could just as easily be like, yo, I'm dropping you. See you later, bomb. And now you're asked out because you relied completely on the label. Whereas, a human and you own your own shit and you make a mistake, you can kind of figure out your own way to get back from that. And you have your own product, and sometimes the product will speak for itself regardless of, your actions prior. Maybe you can come back. But I just think when you put everything into a label, I think you become their product as opposed to you owning the product of your music. You know what I'm saying? So I think depending on your situation, you're either the person that owns the product or you are the product, because they have control of it all. They can say, you can't release now, you gotta release now, or, whatever it may be.
They so bad, but we're so good at it. We got bad habits.
I spend one night a week in the studio every week. That's like, that's basically like church. You can guarantee I'm gonna be there. So we put in our work done, we'll record whatever we have. I write on the side a lot, a lot of ideas. I barely like sit down and write anymore unless I catch like an idea. But a lot of times I catch the idea and I write down the idea, and then when I find the beat, I'm able to just kind of go with it. So I write on the go a lot rather than like sitting down and having writing sessions for myself. I do have writing sessions with other people, but I would say it's probably like a 25%, 75%. Business side is 75, and then music side is 25, because you can have all the music in the world, but if nobody knows you have it, then it doesn't matter. So like you have to take that, like I said, as your product. And you know, we didn't know that Bounty was the quicker picker upper until they told us. You know, until they're shoving that shit in our face and being like, "Yo, we got the best paper towels. This is what we got." And now when you go to the store, if you buy Bounty, you feel like you bought the best shit. You know it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to tell people like, "Yo, I got this shit over here. My shit is fire over here. I promise you don't like it." And they'll never know because of how it is today, where everything is so watered down, and like, you know, every streaming platform has artists from everywhere that are just making music. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you know, everybody's making music, so everybody's throwing it out there. So I think what separates artists that want to just be musicians from people that want to be in the music business is how you promote yourself. Like we spend money, we spend time, we spend, you know, hours on content, promotion, finding new ways to promote a song that's not just dropping the album cover, or just ways to engage with our fans so that we can tell them like, "Yo, we got this new shit. You know what I mean? Check it out here as soon as it drops." Really hard to let people know that you have it unless you're like in their face with it. You know, from ad spends to just going out and getting content that's not necessarily the song you just made, but it's, you know, a way of promoting it and telling everybody, "Yo, I'm gonna bring you right back here to this song that we just put out so that you can get it." Because I know you might not unless I tell you, "Hey, I got it." You know, it's kind of how you market yourself is, you know, and that's like business 101 is marketing.
And we end up right back here in this place. I can't break the cycle.
Sometimes I do, but I figure like knowing how the internet works and how like things work, a lot of it is building over time and consistency. So like I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, I have songs that do better than other songs, but I think this one is gonna be just a piece to the whole foundation of everything. So if it blows and that's the one, that's great. But if not, I know that I got one coming, you know, in the next 3 weeks, and I have another one coming in the next 3 weeks. And then even if that one does blow, I still have, you know, while everybody's being like, "Yo, who's this new dude? It's like, "Bum, he just dropped something new as well." So I just try to keep the consistency of, you know, every 3-4 weeks, just hit him with some new music, come with some new content, and make sure it's like, "Yo, I'm still here. I got the most, you know, I got the best shit. Check it out," you know. So it's just trying to promote yourself the best you can. So I don't always think that this song is going to be the one, but I definitely am like, this is going to be a piece to, you know, when somebody finds that song that they really like and they go back to my you know, my catalog, I think that there's a lot of things that they'll find and be like, "Oh, I like this one too. I like this one too. I like, oh, this is different. This is cool." So I try to make music for everybody, but you know, that one song might be the one that hits with a certain type of crowd, and then one might be one that hits, you know, with somebody else. I made some EDM songs, some really dancey songs, and then my next songs that I got coming out are really like, you know, alternative rock sounding. So I can totally see how this might hit with one crowd and that might hit with another crowd. But I just try to make them all like bricks in the foundation, and eventually, if you find me as an artist, you can go back and be like, "Oh shit, he's got a decent catalog of everything." You know, that could really showcase what I can do as an artist.
Well, my cheek pressed against you is more than I miss you.
Everything that I write always really comes from a personal perspective. I don't always write about myself. I do write about a lot of people that I've met. I write about a lot of things I see. I write about a lot of relationships that I've encountered along my way. But everything is genuine. I can always if somebody were to ask me to break down something, it comes from something that I've experienced. So I think that I only separate myself by being myself. So nobody could really say that I was trying to do something different. I've gone through stages where I've tried to do something and experimented with something and it just didn't feel right, or it didn't work, and then you find out it didn't work because you weren't being true to yourself. So I feel like as long as it makes me feel good and I can say that I stand behind this and this is 100% Ian Matthew product, then I'm cool with it. And I think that separates me from everybody else because there's really only one me. So as long as I can, I can tell you every single lyric and be like, oh yeah, this is from this, or this is from this, or I was thinking about this and that. And I think that You know, a lot of people sometimes they just get behind the mic and they just say some shit that sounds good, which is cool too. And that's why I think, you know, like some people are entertainers and some people are lyricists and some people are, you know, musicians and some people are guitar players or whatever it may be. And I think it gets misconstrued a lot with people, you know. But I think what separates me from everybody is just the fact that my songs are like telling stories. I always like to tell stories when I write, whether they're my story or somebody else's story. It's always a story that I've seen firsthand and I can talk about with a knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? I never really bullshit. And if I really bullshit myself, I try not to, because I always want to come back to it when I listen to it and be like, oh, I remember this. It just takes me back to a certain time. Like, I don't know. I try to be genuine with everything that I write. So I think that's what separates me.
I think that we're too stuck in all our ways, and it's the same.
To be from Torrington is cool, man. It's weird because a lot of people told me that I had to leave, I had to get out, and it kind of put a chip on my shoulder because it's not the best place to be from. It's kind of a dead end. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a lot of ways to progress out there. You kind of hit a plateau, but I feel like if I could be the person that maybe brings a little bit of life into it, and I could somehow provide for, you know, I want to be able to build in my own community. You know, I want to sit there and say that, you know, I put up, you know, a spot where kids can perform or a studio or something like that. Because when I was coming up, there was nowhere for me to go. In the northwest corner of Connecticut, it was like you better have a friend with a MacBook and, you know, a good recording, you know, a good spot to record. Because there was no studios that would really take you unless you traveled. So I want to be able to do something like that. I like it because they always show me love, man. Torrington has always had my back from day one, and they always listen. They always, you know, give me feedback. They always come to the shows. My hometown shows are my biggest shows always. So I always wanted to, you know, stay there and be able to help my community, whether it's, you know, financially, which I haven't really been able to do yet, honestly, or just, you know, being somebody that the young kids could come to and be like, yo, Ian, what do? I want to record this and do that, or, you know, and I always give a lot of advice, and I love that. I love being like the big bro to some people. That makes me feel good because I never had one when I was coming up. I had to go find other people, you know what I mean, like that weren't from around where I was from. So it's cool to be able to do that. But yeah, it's nice because I feel like I'm kind of secluded from a lot of the politics of Connecticut music, but I also get to, you know, I get to come in and I get to enjoy the events and everything. I travel a lot. I go down and I see a lot of people out there. I got a lot of people around the state that I mess with. So it's cool. I like it. I always try to show my hometown love, and they've always shown me love. So I try to make it.
She pressed against you. It's more than I miss you. I hope that you didn't get into late.
All of my social media is Twitter to Instagram, Snapchat. They're all Ian Up North, IANUPNORTH. My Facebook is Ian Matthew Music, facebook.com/Ian Matthew Music. And if you're searching for me on any streaming platform, you gotta search Ian Matthew. No S, IANMATTHEW. So you'll find me on, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, Audio Mac, Amazon, Deezer, whatever that is. But yeah, so I'm everywhere. Just search Ian Matthew, no S. And yeah, you can find me everywhere.
Bad habits, yeah,